We don't know. But His Holiness a few weeks ago was sending the confirmation that Lama Zopa Rinpoche Yangtze is here. We don't know where, but so we are very happy. Anyway, so when Lama Zopa Rinpoche in 1970 or 69, here it's written, when he was doing a retreat in 1974, he found this text. It's a text of an old Tibetan master, and it's called The Door to Dharma, opening the door of Dharma. It's from a Tibetan yogi, Lawudo. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche was reading this text, and he was also shocked, because he had, by reading this text, his thought, until now, all my activities were not really Dharma. So why? I mean, Rinpoche. But he said he was only studying, listening, and, discussing, debating, but not really with the motivation from the heart to do it for the benefit of others. So this text is mainly, he is talking about the 8 worldly dharmas and the motivation. And then the rest of the book is about the lamp of the path from Atisha. So, but today I would like to share this. First, I would like to talk about motivation, and then secondly, about the 8 worldly dharmas, about letting go. Okay, so Lama Zopa Rinpoche also made this daily meditation practice. And now you can put the first from Lama Zopa Rinpoche on the screen. So Lama Zopa Rinpoche wrote the other one. Oh. This is from Gampopa. You can, you don't have another one, small one? Okay, it doesn't matter. So Lama Zopa Rinpoche said, in the beginning of each day, after opening your eyes, still in the bed, in order for all the activities of your body, speech, and mind, such as hearing, thinking, meditating, as well as walking, sitting, sleeping, working, doing my job, may all the activities that I'm doing become a cause of happiness, and especially a cause for enlightenment, and not the cause of suffering and lower realms. Yes, this is it. The only point here on this text, I read it again. At the beginning of each day, after you open your eyes, until enlightenment is achieved, and until death, and especially today, so that all the activities of your body, speech, and mind, hearing, thinking, meditating, as well as walking. So here it's singing, but this is actually, it's nice, but it's also sitting. It's the 4 activities of the body. It's walking, sitting, sleeping, or doing our job, and so on. May they not become the cause of suffering, and instead become the causes of happiness. and especially the cause for attaining enlightenment, Buddhahood. So that is, you transform them, all the activities, into a method for accomplishing benefit and happiness for all sentient beings. So this is the method for transforming the mind into holy Dharma and especially into bodhicitta. So we know, I mean, it's okay. We know that, you know, in Tibetan Buddhism, in the Mahayana Buddhism, we always have bodhicitta, bodhicitta, bodhicitta. But actually, what does it mean, bodhicitta, and how can we develop it? So I have to say, when I saw this a few years ago, this motivation, I mean, then is coming a short, a special Lamrim prayer, and also from Shantideva. But sorry to say that, that's already too much for me. I like short and essence. So this is the essence. Every day, before you get up, you just cultivate this thought. I even reduce it in one sentence. May all what I do with my body, speech, and mind, all the actions, may they only become a cause for happiness and even a cause for enlightenment. May they be only, sometimes I say directly and or indirectly benefiting others. So this is such an amazing thought. It's so easy. Now you can put the one from Kampompa. You know, these things we hear in all the teachings. How important is the motivation? Every Lama is saying this. How important is the motivation? Kampompa, Milarepa's heart disciple, said again, after awakening from sleep, before you get out of bed, think, today I am going to use my body, speech, and mind in virtue for sentient beings. That's it. That's it. So, why is it so important? You can... So, now a little bit theory. So, intention is an omnipresent mental factor. It's always here. Always. Whatever we do, whatever we think, the mental factor of intention is always there. So intention actually is neutral, but we can give this intention a color. So the color is, may whatever I do be of benefit for others. It's such a wonderful wish. I mean, it's so coming from the heart. It's so beautiful. It's not easy, definitely not. But at least we can have the wish. And already the wish is so precious. I mean, it's really amazing. It's so precious just to have the wish, whatever I do, like it's said, even sleeping, walking, eating, whatever I do, may that be of benefit for others. It's, I don't know, it's so precious. So when we do this early morning, before we get up, this motivation this, as the consciousness is going on, this is continuing, this energy of may be benefiting others is going through the whole day. That's the cause, that's theory, that's the causal motivation. So that's why it's important to do it early morning. And then even if you forget it, it doesn't matter. It's a continuation of it's a color of in our mind stream. And even if we get angry or, dissatisfied or whatever, do not nice actions, still it's less than without this motivation. So that's very important, and it's not just made up by me, it's really in the text, it's written. The causal motivation is continuing the whole day. So then, of course, when you have the possibility to remind, to remember before you do again, for example, before you start the work, you come in the office or whatever, say, you can shortly reconnect to this motivation. Okay, may it be of benefit for others. Whatever you do, Lama Zopa Rinpoche said, not only him, but here it's written in the book, you can transform all our actions into Dharma. So that's why he made this motivation. Nowadays we are, 21st century, everyone's so busy, everyone so occupied. We have not much time for practicing Dharma. So that's why it's important to transform all our actions of body, speech, and mind into Dharma. Then this has an effect. I really can feel it from myself. I do this now since quite some years. In the beginning, I forgot it. And then again, I remembered, oh, let me do again the motivation. Now, rarely I get up without doing it. I really always do this motivation. And I can feel a difference. It's really, that's what I would like to encourage you. It's simple. It's very simple. Just one sentence. But it comes from the heart. Maybe in the beginning it's just, a thought, but slowly, it comes more and more from the heart. And what is the effect? It makes you happy. Interesting, huh? It makes you happy. Why? We also know, you are all practitioners. You know, our big problem is a self-cherishing mind. So this is the antidote of the self-cherishing mind. So when we make this motivation, self-cherishing mind already less. At least it's the wish. Self-cherishing, of course, coming up always, of course. But there is the wish, may it be of benefit for others. So we really can transform everything into positive actions, into virtue, into causes for future good lives, and put the seed for enlightenment. Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful. So simple, so beautiful. Sorry, I like the simple way. This is my lazy part. But somehow it's the same. His Holiness said bodhicitta in the morning. So, okay. So again, we have the causal motivation, early morning, and then the time motivation. Before, if we remember, wonderful. We can enforce whatever we do, studying, eating, doing our exercise, going for sport, swimming, doesn't matter. Again, may it be of benefit for others. Just that, it's enough. So, but the more important one is the causal motivation. So, you have questions?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
The motivation. The motivation which we form first thing in the morning.
Yes.
It vanishes very easily.
Yes.
So does one have to try very hard to drill it in or run without changing one's feet?
Yes and no. So the thing is, you have to train to do it every morning. So this is in the beginning, the hard part. You have to remember in the morning before you get up. So this takes some time until, we know to get a familiarity takes time. But when you see the importance of this, you can develop it more quickly, more easily, or you put something that you can remember. So, but I completely agree. You think when we make this motivation early morning, maybe it's still a little bit half sleeping, not yet having had a coffee, it doesn't matter. This is the point. Because you made it, it remains. Even you forget it, it's still there, more subconsciously. So this is the point. So there, okay, this we have to believe. I can't prove this, maybe definitely a clairvoyant person could prove this. But this is the point, we have to believe that, but it's written in the text. So we can trust, because they don't write things, they are not true. Okay, is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more question.
Yes.
You mentioned that the mental factor
Yes.
of intention is always present.
Yes.
Could you elaborate a bit more on that?
I mean, we have the main mind with the 5 sense consciousness: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, like this. Ear, eye, nose, mental consciousness. And then we have 5 omnipresent mental factors. So one is intention, one is feeling, one is contact, because we are always in contact. One is discriminating, and one is awareness. So these are the 5 mental, omnipresent mental factors. And then you have other mental factors, 51 in total, but that would be too elaborate to go into that. And it's the studying of the mind, Lorik, that explains this. And that's, I mean, so each mental factor, it's actually also written like this, that each mental factor colors the whole mind. This we can see when we get a desire, I want this, you know, and then everything is just focused on that. So that's why it's so important. Let's color our mind with a beautiful color. I don't know which one you like, with the may whatever I do with my body, speech, and mind be of benefit for others. And then, you know, this color keeps in the mind. Of course, then other things are coming. We are so busy, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So that's why it's so important. That's why Lama Zopa Rinpoche gave us this motivation to make in our busy life, make it 24 hours for Dharma. This, yeah, that's it. Easy, huh? Practice, yes. It's so easy. So the difficult point is to remember and to cultivate this familiarity, this habituation. So this is up to you, how you want, maybe you put something or you, I don't know, that you can remember every morning to do this. I mean, when, it's so simple. But when you do this, you follow His Holiness advice, you follow Lama Zopa Rinpoche's advice, you follow all the masters' advice, like also Gampompa, you know, all the masters said this. And we don't really take it here. We think it's too simple, isn't it? But that's why I say what I would like to share and to encourage you, because I really can feel a difference since I am doing that. Of course, I still get angry. Of course, I forget. Of course, you know, but somehow something is working within me. And the wish to benefit others gets somehow a little bit stronger. Self-cherishing still here. What to do? But, you know, we say, okay, now shut up. Now we try the other way. Okay, so now I would like, so Lama Zopa Rinpoche, he, in this text, the door, opening the door to Dharma, was mentioning the 8 worldly dharmas. Maybe you heard already about them. I don't know if you know Lama Tsongkhapa's prayer. When we rejoice in the verse of Lama Tsongkhapa, we rejoice that Lama Tsongkhapa abandoned. How wonderful. You abandoned the 8 worldly dharmas. Then I also thought, wow, when we rejoice in Lama Tsongkhapa, who is such an amazing, who was such an amazing teacher, so it must be very difficult to abandon the 8 worldly dharmas. Yes, also not so easy, very easy to understand, but not so easy to do. So what are the 8 worldly dharmas? It's a pair of 4. So one is, I'm very happy, when I receive something. When I get some money, when I get invited, when I receive whatever, I'm happy. When I lose something, when someone take something, wow. Now with the crash of the, how do you say, stock market, wow. You know, incredible. What the pain, what thinking, how much money I lost. This, also in the Swiss news, do I still get my pension? Is everything lost? You know, so much worries. So this is gain and loss. I'm happy when I gain. When the stock market goes up, I'm very happy. Sorry, I'm Swiss with my banks. When the stock market goes down, I'm sad, disappointed. Can you refer to that?
Yes.
Yes. Can be very simple. Then the next pair is, I want comfort. I want it smooth, a nice, agreeable, you know, a nice home, a nice car, a nice sofa, a nice seat, a nice drink, a nice food, whatever. No, we enjoy that. That's good. But then suddenly we go somewhere, like when you go to Lawudo, the toilets are difficult, not so, you know, Western toilets. The beds are hard, the rooms are not so easy, it's very high up, cold, you know. So what? So, so what, you know? So that's actually good. So what? So the more I can cope with things that are not the way how I like to be, the more at ease I am. The more of letting go. I can see people sometimes, you know, I heard a story about, you know, up in Namche on very high, that people were ordering a coffee, a cappuccino. And actually in Italy, they put a little bit chocolate powder on the cappuccino. So that was done. But the people who ordered this cappuccino, they say, I don't want this chocolate powder on the cappuccino. They gave it back. What's that? Can you imagine? How narrow your mind is when you want a cappuccino exactly the way how you are used to. I mean, these are stupid examples, but our mind is often very narrow. You know, if I don't get it like this, I get angry. Non-virtue action. I shout, I da. So that's, you know, when we are aware of this. So I call actually those 8 worldly dharmas little demons. Little demons hiding in our mind. Sometimes they are not so obvious. And sometimes, wow, come up. Why do you do this? Wow. This food is not cooked enough, it's not warm, or it's not hot, or whatever, you know. We have so many opportunities not to be happy. Just because we grasp, we want it the way how we think it should be. Isn't it? We know already, everyone. So these are second. So we have gain and loss. Then we have comfort and discomfort. Then, now more difficult, we have fame, and the opposite is defamation or slander. So this actually, it's written in the text, this is the most difficult to let go. That's even in the debate with the high masters, to hold on our view how things are, and to be 100% sure it is like this. I know it. And the other are, don't know it. They are the stupid ones. So to gain this fame, here I have in my mind, you know, sometimes also very easy in Facebook. You put something on Facebook, how many likes you get? How many likes? How many friends you have? You are much better than others. I have so many friends. Or they didn't like what I wrote and put on Facebook, you know? So these are just simple examples, but it's actually quasi all the time in our mind. All the time. And then the next one, praise and criticism. We like to be praised, of course. We don't like criticism, of course. We all face that. We all, everyone, each one of us, we all, that's samsara. We are all caught up in these 8 worldly dharmas. Everyone. So, and that brings us the suffering. Because we are attached to the way how we think it should be, the way I want to have it, the way I think. I mean, there are all our conflicts. It's because of they are not following my view. Yeah, isn't it? So what? So what do we do? So it's already a very good step to be aware that we have this, to acknowledge. We are, it's always, I mean, me too. You know, when I went down from Geshe Dharamsala, of course I go to look where I can get the cheapest ticket. And then I'm happy. I got it for 900 rupees. How possible? You know? So, okay, it's okay. But we can go more and more into extreme. You know, we can almost fight in order to get you. I can get angry when someone wants to sell me a ticket for almost 2,000 rupees, you know. So of course, we take care of our money. That's fine. That's no problem. But we also have to let go. Okay. When the rickshaw driver asked me, you know, okay, it's okay. It's also an offering. When he asked me a little bit too much. You know, can you relate to that? Online, can you relate to that? Yeah. So what this is a big question. How can we start to let go? I mean, I know also I worked in psychiatry, and there also you have to let go. But tell someone, let go of your problem, let go of your anger, let go of your attachment. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So we have to find out how we can come slowly, but continuously, to diminish our desire, our greed, our attachment. So what I do, I try to do it with little things, unimportant things. It's more easy. Like I like coffee, of course. But so nowadays, I know when I take a coffee after a certain time, I stay awake. So it's really not good. Okay, then I let it be. How does it feel? How does it feel when I let go something? Is the world going upside down? Not really. So, but I don't know if you can feel or see where is your point where you grasp. It has to be like this. Or I want to have more. I want to have a better car, a bigger house, or whatever. I don't know. What do you think? This is the big question. Now we discuss. Now we discuss. Also, if someone online wants to discuss, is open. Because the less, it's really true, the less desire we have, the less everything comes from the mind. That's also, we know everything comes from the mind. So we create our suffering, or we create our happiness. So when I have an idea, I want to go today to let's say, to buy something, to buy, I don't know, a very nice iPad. Then I go. Then I have to wait because there are so many people there at the app store. And then, they don't have exactly that what I want. Then I get angry, I get irritated, I do, So I create a non-virtue, and I create also discomfort for myself, for the person who is there trying to satisfy me. It's, actually so many things. And when we can, okay, I want to go. Maybe I check, shall I buy another iPad, a better one? It's okay. I mean, when it's useful, why not? It's not that we don't have can have things or can enjoy things. It's not that at all. So, but be flexible. Look what is really useful, what is helpful.
Whenever we talk about having less desires, and in 21st century where information is so readily available.
What is?
In 21st century.
Oh, yeah.
Where the information is so easily available.
Yes.
And we have access to online sort of things, and we can order anything from anywhere so easily. There are so many things out there in the market, on social media, online. How do we practice that we have less desire naturally? And also we see people buying a lot of stuff, people talking about what they are buying. How do you practice that these desires are not there in the first place?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, what do you think?
I think the more money I have, the more desires I have, because then I have the purchasing power. I can buy those things. Then I start thinking, oh, if I save this much, I'll be able to buy this in these many months. But there was a time when I had less money. So I did not even think that I have to buy these things because I don't have that. So, but when you have that option, then I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. You know, we have everything around, and the how to say Werbung, the advertisement, they know exactly how to catch up. We have to buy this, we have to do this, we have to everything, you know. So when we do take a step back, I think this is necessary. That we don't act, you know, out of, almost without thinking, that we take a step back. Do I really need it? So sometimes, actually in earlier times, sometimes, you know, for me, it takes a long time until I can decide, okay, I buy now an iPad, which one, and this and that. But sometimes I also went to town without money or only a little bit money. That I don't spend everything right away. So, but there are, you know, there is not one solution. That's the point. We are all individuals. It's for each one of us different. And we have to find out how, with what shall I start to diminish my desire. And especially also the view, you know, it's all coming from the mind, you know, that we. So there is also, you know, when I see something nice, oh wow, that would be good. Shall I buy it? Then I also can step back. Do I really need it? Is it helpful? If yes, then no problem. Then you buy it. But if you fill with one cloth or one shoes after the other shoes your whole apartment, doesn't make sense. I mean, there are people who have 100 shoes, 100 pair of shoes. So, you know, it's really when we start to see So when we start to understand that these 8 earthly dharmas, to get, it's also, we want more, bigger, higher, better. This is the evolution also from the economy, But is that bringing satisfaction or not? That's the point. That's the question. Will I be happy with this? If I need it, of course, there is no problem. There is no problem. Then it's, but then, when I have the new car and then suddenly someone make a damage it, then so difficult, so, So you see how we also identify ourselves with material things. It's so so easy done, and then we get immediately sad and disappointed, and all the other circle of negativities starts. Can you relate to that? So all that also is based on impermanence and death. I mean, of course, when we, everything, what we have, every material thing is changing moment by moment. Our mind is changing moment by moment, but not only our mind, also the minds of our friend, our loved ones, also of our person that I have difficulties with, is changing moment by moment. So when we keep on holding on my friend, my loved one, she has to be like this, or he has to be like this, it will never change. Then big problems, very big problems. The more we hold on, the more problems we create. So we know that. So how can we work through that to lessen, to get a little bit less desire, less? So there is another point I want to say, to share. When I heard many years ago about these things that I should let go of, also, let go. And I was always, I needed to go for a walk. I needed to go to the mountains because I was recovering. I was getting energy. I was getting more calm and, so that's okay. So it's not that we can't do anything anymore. That was what happened when I was reading this book in the beginning. I thought, I can't enjoy any more things. I can't do any more because it's getting negative and things. No, this is not the way. We have to find the balance. And we have to be very honest to ourselves. So we need to see, okay, today it's helpful for me when I go to swim because it's relaxing. I need to relax. I need to, And then my energy is back. Then I can be again of benefit for others. Because especially we from Lama Zopa Rinpoche, we often thought I have to only work for others in action, which is also a misunderstanding. First of all, we can't always help others. We are very, very, very limited in helping others. But the intention can be there, the motivation can be there. And with a step back, I need to take care of myself, that I can be of benefit for others. That's so important. It's very important to take care of myself. That's not self-cherishing. The self-cherishing is when I only think of myself and don't care about others. You know, I want this. Doesn't matter what you are doing. That's, you know, so, but I take care of myself. I need to look that my body, my health, my mind is okay. That I'm happy. Then it's also more easy, you know, for others to be happy. Already the energy what I have cultivated within me, without saying something, just being has an effect to others. So that's why it's so important to work on our mind. Again, I come back to the motivation. Hello, please. So now again, you know, you see that these 8 worldly dharmas, we can't let go of them like that. It would be nice, but it's not possible. We have to be realistic. But again, when we do this motivation early morning, it carries on the whole day. And suddenly it makes more sense, you know. Then we think more easily when the food is not the way I want it. Okay, I go for it. I don't need to give it back. I don't know how, if that here happens, but in Switzerland definitely it happens. It's not hot enough, or it's not this or not that. Then you give it back. Why? Yeah. So we can, then we can more relax. More, and the more we relax, the more happy we are. Again, easy. It's really true. The less we have, the less we are occupied with things, the less problems we have. The less problems we have, the more happy we are. Does that make sense? I don't know. So the discussion is open.
It's something that we can understand. So when you talk about something that I observe in my mind is that when we don't feel very well, when we have contrariety, when we have an issue, often the grasping comes over in the mind, and instead of thinking or trying to resolve the problem, we will grasp to something else to find a satisfaction. It's even so strong that a lot of people will tell you, oh, if you have a pain, go shopping.
Yes.
So
Or
there's
drink
a way.
alcohol.
It is a bad imprint, or it is a way to change this way of thinking.
Yeah, that's a pattern. I know that from myself too. When before becoming a nun, when I was stressed, I really liked to have a glass of wine. Just to relax. I even would say, definitely Lama Yeshe would say, that's okay. As long as it doesn't, again, go into extreme of becoming drunk, or this is done every day, and then it goes into how do you say that you are addicted. So we have to be skillful to, okay, shopping is again, then you buy things you don't really need. This happens very often, that you go for shopping because of frustration, you buy something. If it makes you really happy and joyful, why not? But if it's just one thing more, then where do you want to put it? You have something more. The more things you have, the more problems you have. So the important point is to get a gap. So before you go for shopping, I don't know if it could be also sport to do something, more in a creative way, expressing your frustration in creativity, actually, playing music or sport or art or whatever is actually very, very good. It's, to express our emotions in such a creative way would be wonderful. We often don't think about that. I was playing, before becoming a nun, before meeting Buddhism, I was playing saxophone. And I had a lot of suffering. I really had a lot of suffering. I was not happy at all. But I played maybe for 1 hour outside in the mountains with a big tenor saxophone. I just played, doesn't matter what, out all my pain. That was extremely helpful. Sometimes I was painting, just, for me, and then threw it away. Just black or red or whatever, doesn't matter. I don't paint well. But just to get out of these heavy emotions. So these are possibilities. You don't need to tell anyone. You don't need to show anyone. It can be helpful. Another way is, of course, now as Buddhists, if we have time, we make a weekend free and go there where you said, to Deer Park. A place, what is nice environment, You can be on your own, a little bit in silence. This we need to recharge ourselves, to come back to ourselves, to find what do I want, and not to be overwhelmed with, I mean, nowadays it's incredible, all these social mediums, this information, this and that. We lose so much time. For what? So sad, actually. So when we have a space to recover, to come back to ourselves, then we create a gap also. And not immediately, but we are more, again, balanced. When we are balanced, we get less quickly frustrated. Also, one example, when I was in Italy working as education coordinator, I am not a morning person. So I was already ordained, but sorry to say that I'm not a morning person. So I had this experience that I was at the institute, and there I had to go to the how do you say, to the place where you get the food, to the canteen. And then already someone, a student came, this and that, and I just got angry. I thought, let me first eat my breakfast. And then I thought, actually, it's not her fault. She is full of criticism, and I am not yet awake. So what I did as prevention, from then on, I went to get my breakfast and went to my room and ate it quietly there. And then, slowly my energy came back, and then I could face things. So I knew when I'm tired or not, not right away, I get immediately angry, immediately duck. So when you know that, you try to, I can't say give up the anger, doesn't help, but I can try to protect me. Yeah.
Venerable, another thing that we discussed yesterday was if we can take out time for and stay in silence for a couple of days without going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe you can also touch on that for a brief moment. How can that help? And when we say silence, you also mean not using mobile.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's also very important. When you decide you want now some time for yourself, put the phone, iPad away, or give it to someone. Whatever possibility you have, you also can close it in a cupboard and put the key away. Whatever, we have to be creative with ourselves and to really take care of ourselves. We are like children, We have inside a child that is, well, I want this, I want that. So, okay. Now, just a moment of silence. And you don't need to watch to the mobile, all that. It doesn't. And then just observe. This is, I know it also from myself, I said, maybe I got a message. Then, shall I watch? So there it starts. Okay, then I watch. Again, I fell into the trap, you know. Okay, maybe I have to put it further away. Okay, it's okay. Or turn off the internet, you know. We have this possibility. So this is really individually. You have to find out how you can trick your desire. How you can, you know, a little bit. Okay. And then, okay, you fell into the trap. Okay. But actually, I don't want it. Then you try something else, or you try again. So now finish. I have that with the news. You know, I want to do that, to watch the news. Why? Doesn't help. You know? Maybe once a day is enough, but not more, you know? So it's for me very difficult to say. Each one has its own trigger and its own habitual pattern where you have to find out and start not with the most difficult one. Start with an easy one. But keep in mind, those worldly dharmas, mainly attachment. And what is, it's mainly, we are mainly preoccupied just with this life, which ends like this. And then what? We know from Buddhist point of view, the mind stream, the most subtle mind goes on into the next life. So let's really do something of benefit, what is beneficial also for next life and even for enlightenment. It comes down to the motivation. That's why the motivation early morning is very important. It's really a key factor. I really say it's a key factor. It's very important. And trust, even if you forget it, it continues. It has an effect the whole day. Even if you don't feel the effect, but somehow it has an effect. I mean, that's why Lama Zopa Rinpoche gave us this opportunity, this skillful means to do this motivation before we get up, to transform all our actions, even the most stupid ones, into Dharma. Amazing. And then suddenly we are in, you know, suddenly, is this beneficial? Oh, now I lost so much time. It can be beneficial when I write nice things or contact, you know. It can be beneficial, of course. But again, the balance. So some more discussion. Online discussion?
Well,
Yes.
well, just coming back to my first question,
Yes.
it was about intention.
Yes. Yes,
You
exactly.
mentioned that intention is always present,
Yes.
but sometimes I just space out and, I don't seem to be having very much on my mind, maybe looking at the sky or the clouds.
Still, intention is there.
Yes.
The thing is, intention is you wouldn't move, you wouldn't watch to the sky, you wouldn't just close your eyes and space out without intention. That's the intention.
And even while one is doing it, there is an intention.
Yes, 100%. It's always there. It's always there. And always also the feelings. We are not aware about this. We are not aware about this, but intention is always there. Feeling is always there. You know, even just very subtle. How do you say? Agreeable, non-agreeable, not nice, not nice feeling. Always, you know, it's always there. Or a neutral feeling. Always. And then out of that comes the desire. I want more. Or I don't want it. But first, that's the point. It's always, it's a mental factor. It's always in our mind. Intention. Without intention, I can't look to you. I can't move my head. I can't get up. It's the intention. I want to get up. Even I don't think like this. You know, everything what we do is due to intention. And contact. We always have contact somehow. Then feeling, then awareness, discrimination, good, bad. These are always there. And it's so, I mean, this is why it's actually very helpful to learn about the mind and mental factors, or the awareness, Lorik in Tibetan, to understand our mind. And I mean, Buddhism is exceptional in describing, explaining our mind. There's the Western science nowhere, really nowhere. So with when we are aware about this, we can, that's the first step, to be aware. Oh, now this, I get attached, I want more. That already is wonderful, to recognize that. That's the first step to change. To be aware that we have all these, everyone has these. You are not exception. I can't say, oh, I don't have the 8 worldly dharmas. As long as we are in samsara, we have them. But we can work with them. We can transform them into dharma, lessen our desire, understand ourselves through that, you know. And then we also understand others better. When we see that all the concurrence, all the competition, 8 worldly dharmas, all. And then it's my decision. Do I really have to go into it or not? Sometimes we have, but sometimes not. I don't know if that makes sense, or some more discussion, questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Venerable, for this. I just had a question regarding the 8 worldly dharmas itself. I just find myself to have this tendency that about any of the negative sides of the 8 worldly dharmas, when I find myself being trapped by them, I go into a sort of cycle of blame for myself.
Oh, yeah.
that despite having this knowledge and despite studying about the 8 worldly dharmas and thinking about them somewhat somewhat regularly, then even then I feel there's the cycle just perpetuates. For instance, if I lose an object, something I misplaced, and I will have that conscious realization or that understanding that it's just a material object that doesn't mean much and it doesn't have any inherent existence, and I don't need to sort of attach myself to it. But then I'll think about, why do I worry about the gain and loss so much? Because that's the 8 worldly dharmas that I'm trapped in, and that sort of diminishes my own self-compassion a little bit. So I'm wondering how to break that cycle when it's in the heat of the moment. I think after a few days, or once the thought subsides and once I'm maybe able to meditate on it, or let it go, it's easier, and then I don't worry about it so much and I don't blame myself so much. But at least for that short time, I'm thinking about it in that cycle. So just wondering.
Yes, so you know what I try to do is, again, a little bit to step back and to see. That's why I like to give the 8 worldly dharmas, to say that they are like little demons. So you see, and then when something like this happens, you can say, oh, the demon, desire demon came, or the beating up demon, or and then suddenly it gets more in a more with humor or a creative way to and it comes down to, after some point you really start to understand that beating up yourself doesn't help. Although it's a pattern, I mean, I had that very much. But somehow it's a path, and the path is not a jump. So a path is step by step. That we have to acknowledge, and to be patient with ourselves, and to nourish ourselves with okay, you recognize, okay, now it's this pattern. I know it. It's not helpful. Although when you say it in that moment, maybe it still doesn't help, but at least you already recognize it as a pattern. And then more and more you can let go of this. Or I don't know, be happy that you realize it, that it's a pattern. That's the point, letting go. We can let go of this, but it doesn't work. So we have to be, each one of us has to find out how to let go. And the path to enlightenment is letting go, up to everything. Everything we need to let go, everything. But how to let go is really a question. And this is not easy to answer. And I always say, we try with little things. Or again, like you have, when you see you start, you fall into the pattern of 8 worldly dharmas. But when you already have this, wow, amazing. We often are not aware at all about these 8 worldly dharmas. We are not aware. And, then we say, okay, demon this, jump up. Okay, now. And not yeah, not try not to beat up yourself. Because it's, you know, it's a path. We are in samsara. Of course, we have difficulties. Although for me, the Dharma really brings joy, but there are difficulties, 100%. And there will be difficulties. That's a fact. But it's okay. It's okay, you know, to be also more relaxed. And we know, you know, the more, illusions we have, or where, you know, also a very strong pattern I had, and many of us have, is when I do this, then when I am like this, then the relationship will work. When I am, then it will go. Forget it. Doesn't work. Completely doesn't work. It's just one stress after the other you put on yourself, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But it takes time to accept this. This is not easy. But the more we can accept this, again, the more relaxed we get, the more happier we get, the more let go of, you know, Swiss perfections. We let go. Yeah. I don't know. Is that?
Yes, that's very, very helpful, especially the part of not taking it so seriously and making it a little humorous for the mind. I think that's important for it to not be so heavy as a concept. I think that can really be helpful. And I mean, I at least have that tendency of, you know, sometimes forgetting to realize that the teachings are not like a magic pill that I hear it and it suddenly cannot have a immediate effect on my mind, but that patience is very, very important in the path. So that's very helpful. Thank you.
I like the magic pill. That's a very good expression. That's exactly. I mean, it's nowadays also everything has to be immediately. You know, we get that. I just today was observing. I went out for a coffee, and then I saw all these motorbike now bringing immediately within 1 minute the food home immediately. Magic pill. That's our society. The more we start to understand how we get influenced by our society, the way everything must be more quick, you know, me too. If someone doesn't answer, I get already worried something happened to them. I don't think anymore they wouldn't have time, you know. So everything needs to be immediately replied, email back, WhatsApp back, message back, immediately, everything quick on Facebook.
And it's so strange how certain types of teachings almost create more grasping, in a sense that, especially when I feel a little more connected to certain parts of the teaching, like the 8 worldly dharmas. I remember the first time I heard about them in my first course at Tushita. I was so fascinated, and I just found the entire model so interesting for the human mind, and I kept thinking about it, and I kept contemplating on it, and it really moved me on many levels, which is why I felt that it made me even more upset at myself when I wasn't able to follow it. So I felt that this is something I should know by now. So that's also such a trick that the grasping just plays, that you think you have understood a certain part of the teaching, and now it should work like a pill, but it doesn't.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Yeah. That's I have that exactly. Then also, even as a nun, at least now you should. So we are on the path, and that is, again, how wonderful. So again, think, you are on the path. You have this amazing opportunity. You are interested. You are practicing. You have fantastic teachers here. You have this center. You have the Tibet house. You have other possibilities. How amazing. So you nourish yourself with these thoughts. And you give, actually, so it's also a question of priority. You give priority to your Dharma practice, if possible. I can say that I don't need to work anymore. I can see a difference since I'm not working anymore. I mean, now I'm old, but facing death, you know, more soon. But still, I can see that's a difference. As long as you are still caught up in, I need to work, I need to earn money, I need to sustain myself, my family, my, you know, everything. This is a load, definitely. Again, it comes back to the motivation. No problem. You can work for that, and you transform this into Dharma. There is no bad thing to have money, to have comfort, to have, is not bad. It's not about that. It's about our clinging. And this also we have to find out. We can trick ourselves so easily. Yeah, it's fine. I don't need, you know, always my way also, can I be without a cup of coffee a day? Just a small example. Can I be without? I drink the coffee. Yeah, of course I can be without. I still drink it. So, okay, prove me once myself to be without. You know, like this, you a little bit creative and joyful with humor, to play with oneself. And of course, I mean, a very good, very intense practice, short, 2.5 days, to cut through desire is Nyungness. I don't know if you have possibilities. I thought when I come back once and I have time, I offer here Nyungness. Nyungness is a Chenrezig practice with the practice of Avalokiteshvara, the 1,000-arm practice. You do it for 2.5 days. So one day you take the 8 Mahayana precepts. These are, you know, the 5 lay vows, like not killing, stealing, sexual. So you don't have sexual contact. That's the difference. They're not lying, harsh speech, slandering, gossiping. No, actually, they are not inside, but just not lying. And then you don't put jewelry and perfume, and you don't sing and dance, meaning you don't go for distraction. So one day you just eat lunch, no breakfast, no dinner. The next day you don't eat, you don't drink, and you don't talk. So when you do the first time the Nyungne, you think you won't survive. That's also normal. But we survive. And then the third day, you can have again a drink and eat, like you don't take the 8 Mahayana precepts. The 8 Mahayana precepts you take for 2 days. And because you know, it's actually a practice that is very renowned in all the traditions. It's short, it's especially for lay persons who have no time to practice, and it's extremely powerful. It's extremely powerful. Lama Zopa Rinpoche says 1 yungne is like 3 months retreat. It's amazing. And you do a lot of purification, a lot of prostrations, even when you don't eat and drink. And yeah, it's a very powerful. A lot so is coming up. So I really thought, oh, when I come back once, if that would be possible, Nyungnes would be fantastic. Yeah. I don't know if you have possibilities to do here in Nyungne, someone?
I don't think we have ever done it in this center, not that I know of. In the last 3 years we haven't. But of course, Tushita Dharamsala offers it.
Yes.
And it's a really transformative practice. I only did it the first time last year.
Yeah.
And it was just absolutely amazing. I definitely thought I was going to die on the first day.
Yeah, that's what we
Yes.
do.
But then once you do survive, it changes everything. And
Yeah.
it actually transformed my physical health as well.
Yes.
Along with,
Yes.
of course, a lot of
Yes.
mental stuff,
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
really, really amazing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would love to do it with you.
Yeah, that's an amazing practice. It's really, and it cuts through, you know, it's point, cuts through desire. And then you have, it's a gap, and then you can decide, what do I want to continue from my old habits and what not. It's a possibility. Yeah, it's very, very precious. Okay, so
Venerable, there's one question on chat.
yeah,
This is Alexi asking, can I have contact address, email, or WhatsApp from Venerable if possible?
Yeah, why not?
If you're okay, we can share email address.
Yes, 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 yes.
I'll put it in the chat if you can tell me right now, if that is okay.
Yes. Shall I send you
Or you can just say it and I'll type in.
the email?
Yeah.
So it's root, RUTH, dot Hofer, only one F, Hofer, 09, at gmail.com. What time do we have? Oh, it's already, yeah. Yeah, if there are no other questions or comments or sharing something.
I want your contact too.
I don't know if it was helpful, but I definitely would like to encourage you again to be aware how amazing situation you have. This is very important to remind ourselves. Sometimes we are caught up, oh, for me. Then, wow, actually an amazing situation. Then, poor me gone. And to be happy about this, I mean, again, when we think about how many people have the possibility to meet the Dharma, how many are interested, how many are really genuinely also practicing with trying to change our mind. How many? I mean, when we look the world, it's so rare. It's so incredibly rare. So that is a nourishing for ourselves to really say, wow, it's good that I'm doing this, without becoming proud. This is the other point, you know, sometimes the more Dharma we do, the more retreat we do, we get proud. 8-worldly Dharma, boy, demon catched me. You know, there we have to be careful. I tell you, we have to be very careful with these little demons.
I tame my mind now better than you now.
Huh?
I tame my mind better than you now.
Yeah, they actually, I made a podcast in Italian. I liked the diavoli. I said diavoli. That's the expression of demon. Demon is too gentle. Diavoli is. I don't know, how do you translate diavoli in English? Devil.
It's
But
devil, yeah.
devil, but devil is.
Yeah, still doesn't.
No, it
yeah.
doesn't fit. Anyway, it's these that come up.
Like a monster, maybe.
A monster, yeah.
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 Monsters are cute.
Yeah. Okay, so then we dedicate. This is here Lama Zopa Rinpoche also, they made a book about mainly the 8-worldly Dharmas, because this is really, it's a big thing.
Which is this one?
How to practice Dharma. And this is really a very old book, but I still like it because I was in Lawudo. It really got to my heart. And, you know, knowing that Lama Zopa Rinpoche found this text in Lawudo, and it's simple, it's easy reading, and it's, you know, we have to do the job. Okay, so let's dedicate our merit. Thank you so much. We take a moment. So we created together, also with the online people, an energy that we now dedicate. So this is very important. Motivation in the beginning, and at the end, in the evening, dedicating. So we dedicate that all our merits, due to our merits, may all sentient beings, each and every single sentient beings, visible, non-visible, wherever they are, animals, doesn't matter, may each and every sentient beings attain enlightenment. May I, due to these merits, be able to attain enlightenment as quick as possible in order to lead all others, to know exactly what they need to progress on the path, or to even enter the path to enlightenment. Through these merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of Guru Buddha and lead all living beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase more and more. And may the supreme transcendental wisdom, realizing emptiness that has not yet arisen, arise and grow. And may that which has arisen not diminish, but increase more and more. And just as the brave Manjushri and Samantabhadra too realize things as they are, I also dedicate all these merits in the best way, so that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with a dedication praised as the best by the victorious ones of the 3 times, so that I may perform the noble bodhisattva deeds. So these 2 verses are the summary of the King of Prayers. And due to these merits accumulated to the 3 times by myself and all the Buddhism bodhisattvas and all sentient beings, which are empty from their own side, may I, you sure? We didn't go into emptiness. Okay. May I, who am also empty from my own side, achieve the state of enlightenment, which is also empty from its own side, and lead all sentient beings who are empty from their own side to that state as quickly as possible by myself alone. This is Lama Zopa Rinpoche. I thought, why couldn't we say like this, okay, this person takes care of all the people in Delhi. This Lama takes care of all the people around, that we a little bit divide. But can you imagine? All sentient beings. That's a lot. So maybe I have to discuss with the Buddha. Let's divide it a little bit. Anyway, now we recite His Holiness Dalai Lama. Kamri rawe korwe shinkam dir pendang devam alu chongwe ne jenre sigwang tenzin gyatso I shape site baruden gyurchik. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche's prayer for His Holiness, incomparable kind and supreme Tenzin Gyatso, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, may you have a long life and all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And may all our holy teachers, each and every one, also from other spiritual directions, traditions, may they all have a very long, healthy life. And now we dedicate for the Yangtze, although not yet known where he is. May he have perfect conditions to grow up, especially parents that understand this child and support it, help really support him that he can fulfill his aim of this life without putting already too many expectations on him. And we also dedicate all our energy, our merits, so we can take a moment to think whoever is close to us and needs support, maybe being sick or have difficulties or whatever, or even without difficulties, we dedicate all these merits to our friends, families, parents, living or already passed away, it doesn't matter. To our colleagues, we are connected to, we work with, students, study fellows. And then we broaden this circle to everyone here in India. And now we also go to all the places where there are huge difficulties, like the earthquake that happens in Myanmar and also affected Thailand. May all these people, but also there where is war and other difficulties, hunger, whatever, also animals, we send to them all our love and wish. And may all these merits get transformed into exactly that what these people need in this very moment. To feel supported, to feel cared of them, loved. They are not forgotten, although we can be there directly. Still, we send our compassion, our love, our support. And may peace prevail the earth, so that everyone can become happy and follow the path out of suffering forever. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Venerable.
Yeah.
Before we sort of depart, just wanted to let people know that Tushita is run by the generosity of all of you. So if anyone's interested to donate or give donations or give offerings, we have donation box at the back. We also have some QR codes if anyone wants to do Paytm or Google Pay. We also have bank account details on the website. The link is shared in the chat for people who are online. So if anybody feels like donating, feel free to. Also, Venerable, thank you for the wonderful talk. And here's a little offering from all of us to you.
Thank you very much.
And we'll hopefully see you again soon for another talk or these practices that you talked about, fasting practice, 2.5 day practice. Hopefully you'll come again. If you pass through Delhi, we will see you again.
When I pass Delhi, maybe.
Or otherwise, even if you're not passing, we can probably invite you and you can still come and go for talk.
So I also have to say, it's very important that the center can continue. And as mostly all the center after COVID are more in difficulties, it's actually also very important to come to be present here. It's you know, the feeling of Sangha. It is not Sangha in red. It's you are also Sangha is very important to support each other, to discuss, to see I am not alone on this path. That's very important. And for that, we need the center. And for that, we need the center to be run. And I would like to offer this to the center, that it can continue. Thank you so much. Okay. Good. Then, bye-bye. Have a nice evening and rejoice. Enjoy.
Thank you everyone for joining in.
Oh, okay. Huh? You can stop. Okay. Bye bye.